Hello everyone. Today again we are going to discuss the continued part of the wave optics in this session. So in that first we are going to discuss regarding Young's double slit experiment. So Thomas Young in 1801 demonstrated the interference effect of light. The experimental arrangement is as shown in the figure. So just to observe the diagram here, the two diagrams we have taken, that is figure A and figure B. So in that, when a light is incident on the two slits, that is S1 and S2 from a monochromatic source, yes. So in figure B, just to observe, there are two slits are there, S1 and S2. So light will be incident to these two slits from a monochromatic source, that is S. Now S1 and S2, they will act as a secondary source and they will start the emitting the wavefronts. The wavefronts from S1 and S2, they will interfere and dark and bright fringes are obtained. So in figure B, just to observe the dotted arcs which represents the trough and the solid arcs which are represents the crest of the wave. So next, the slits S1 and S2, now they have become a source for the secondary wavelet. According to the Huygens principle, already we know. So now the S1 and S2, they are become the source for the secondary wavelets and which are in phase and of the same frequency when they reach at the point O on the screen, because the path S1O and S2O are equal. So now S1 and S2, they are become the secondary wavelets which are in phase. Which are in phase means the crest of one wave falls on the crest and trough of one wave falls on the trough. There is no path difference here. So S1 to O as well as S2 to O, the path covered between them will be the same. Therefore, there will be no path difference. Therefore, in this case what happens? The crest of one wave falls on the crest as well as trough of one wave falls on the trough of the other wave, and this represents the constructive interference. Therefore, our point O, we have taken it as MB. MB means middle bright. So on moving away from the center O of the screen, that is the points D1 and D2. Just in diagram you observe the points D1 and D2. In this case, the crest of the one wave falls on the trough of the other. Just in diagram you observe at a point D1, that is one dotted arc which will be coincided with a solid arc. Means one trough will falls on the crest. Similarly, crest will falls on the trough. So at this time what happens? The destructive interference will be taken place, and this destructive interference leads to the point that is dark bands. And again coming to the next point, that is B1 and B2. B1 and B2, just to observe the point B1. In this case, the crest of one wave falls on the crest as well as trough of one wave falls on the trough itself. Just to observe the solid arc which will be interact with solid itself and the dotted arc which will be interact with dotted itself. Therefore, which leads to the bright bands on the screen. That B1, D1, that will be represent. B1 means it is a bright band, first bright band. D1 is the first dark band, like that. So with the help of this alternate dark and bright fringes we are getting, or bands we are getting. Next, we are going to discuss the very important concept in this, that is expression for the fringe width. How much is the fringe width is there? For that we are going to take one derivation. So in the figure, just to observe, S1 and S2 are the two coherent sources, or generally we can call it as slits in Young's double slit experiment. The two slits we are using here, therefore it is called as Young's double slit experiment, and which are separated at a distance small d. Let a screen which is placed at a distance capital D from the coherent source. Therefore, the point O now, the point O which is at equidistance from S1 and S2. So point O is exactly middle of the slit, and the S1O as well as S2O which is equidistance from this. Similar to the Q also as well as R also. Both are all equidistance from one another. So that the path difference between the two waves from S1 and S2 to reaching the point O is 0, because S1 and S2 which are equidistant from O, Therefore, there is a no path difference. Therefore, path difference between reaching the point O is 0 here. Similarly, we can say that now the point O, which is having the maximum intensity, because there will be no path difference, so we are getting it as maximum intensity. Therefore, our point O is called as MB. That MB is nothing but maximum bright fringe. Similarly, we can consider one more point, that is point P, which is at a distance x from the O. Just to observe in the diagram that point P, which is at a distance x from the point O. The path difference between the light waves from reaching the point S1 and S2, that path difference now we are going to calculate. See here, S1P, which is not equal to S2P here. According to the diagram only you can understand that S2P is greater compared to the S1P. Yes, of course there is a path difference. Then what is that path difference we are going to calculate? So for that, again we have to consider the same diagram. So the path difference between the light waves from S1P and S2P reaching the point P, that will be given by that delta, that path difference is delta is equal to S2P minus S1P, because our S2P is greater, so S2P minus S1P. Now, therefore, from right angle triangle S2RP, just in diagram you observe the triangle S2R and P. This is one right angle triangle. Now, according to the Pythagoras theorem, we have to write the equation now, that is S2P square is equal to S2R square plus PR square. So, S2P square is as it is. What is our S2R square? So, S2R square is a D, it is same as a D. So, it is a D square plus PR square. Just to observe the PR square now. What is P to O? P to O is X. But R is one more half. Half means it is D half we have taken. D half means the distance between the slits, that is taken as a D. But O is exactly middle from the slit. Therefore, exactly half, that is a D by 2, D by 2 term. So, all these 4 points which are placed at exactly D by 2 values. Therefore, P to R entire value we want to get. So, P to O is X and O to R is D by 2. To get P to R entirely, we are getting it as X plus D by 2. Therefore, PR square we have written as it is X plus D by 2 the whole square. Therefore, next step we are going to write, that is again we have to consider from right angle triangle S1QP. So, observe in the diagram, that is S1QP, one right angle triangle. Again we are going to apply the Pythagoras theorem, that is S1P square is equal to S1Q square plus PQ square. So, S1P square is as it is. What is S1Q square? So, S1Q square, which is same as a D, therefore it is a D square plus PQ square. So, just you observe here PQ square again. Already we know P to O is X and only we want it is P to Q, means in that X, half of that D by 2 term you have to take it minus. Therefore, it is X minus D by 2 the whole square. Therefore, our delta, the path difference delta is equal to, according to our equation, is S2P minus S1P. But here we got it as it is S2P square minus S1P square. This equal to, substitute the values, that is D square plus X plus D by 2 the whole square minus of D square plus of into X minus D by 2 the whole square. Now solve this, that is D square as it is plus this X plus D by 2 the whole square. It is in the form of A plus B the whole square form. So, A plus B the whole square is A square plus 2AB plus B square. So, with the help of this, expand the term. It is X square plus 2XD divided by 2 plus D square by 4. The same thing will be continued for the second one. Minus of, it is D square plus, it is A minus B the whole square form, that is A square minus 2AB plus B square. So, it is X square minus 2XD by 2 plus D square by 4. So, 2 get cancels in both the equations and we are getting it as S2P square minus S1P square is equal to, it is a d square plus x square plus xd plus d square by 4 minus d square minus x square plus xd minus d square by 4. So plus d square minus d square as well as plus x square minus x square and plus d square by 4 minus d square by 4 get cancelled. So we are getting s2p square minus s1p square is equal to 2xd, or this is in the form of s2p square minus s1p square. It is in the form of a square minus b square form. So a square minus b square means it is a plus b, a minus b. So therefore we can write it as it is a plus b as s2p plus s1p and a minus b as s2p minus s1p, that equal to 2xd. From this we want to get it as what is s2p minus s1p, because our path difference is s2p minus s1p. So s2p minus s1p is equal to, it is 2xd divided by s2p plus s1p. But p is very close to O. Just in diagram we can compare that the p is very close to O. Then our s2p plus s1p is approximately equal to d, that is capital D, the distance between the screen and the slit. So s2p is also d, similarly s1p is also d, therefore we are getting it as approximately equal to 2d. Therefore our delta is equal to s2p minus s1p is equal to, we can substitute the values, that is 2xd divided by d plus d is 2d. Again 2 get cancels, we are getting it as xd divided by d. So this is, I can call it as it is equation 1, and this equation 1 which represents the path difference between the light waves from S1 and S2 superimposing at a point P. So this is what the path difference between the two light waves from S1 and S2. But now we are going to calculate what is the fringe width. Our main aim is to calculate what is the fringe width. So for that, first I will consider for a bright fringe or for maximum intensity at P. The path difference, already in previous lecture we know regarding this, for a bright fringe or the maximum intensity or for the constructive interference, the path difference must be the even multiple of lambda by 2, where lambda is the wavelength of light used. Therefore, we can write this xd divided by capital D is equal to, it is the even multiple of lambda by 2. Therefore, we can write it as it is 2n into lambda by 2, or generally we can write it as it is n lambda. Now from this, what is that x value? That x is equal to, it is n lambda capital D divided by small d. Therefore, now the distance of the nth bright fringe from the center O of the screen, that will be written as xn is equal to n lambda d divided by d. Similarly, the distance of n plus 1th bright fringe from the center of the screen, that is center O, that you can write it as it is xn plus 1 is equal to, replace that n as n plus 1, so n plus 1 into lambda d by d. Now we want to get what is the fringe width. Already we know what is the wavelength. Wavelength means it is the distance between two consecutive crests or two consecutive troughs. Here also the same, the distance between the centers of any two consecutive bright fringes is called as fringe width of all the bright fringes. So fringe width means we have to calculate fringe width of bright fringes, means we have to consider the two consecutive bright fringes and we have to take the distance between the centers of these two bright fringes. So therefore, the distance between the centers of any two consecutive bright fringe is called as the fringe width of the bright fringes, and it will be given by, so already we know the two consecutive fringes, one is xn and another one is xn plus 1. So you have to take the difference of them, then you are getting what is the total distance in between them. Therefore, that fringe width will be given by beta. So that beta is equal to xn plus 1 minus xn. Already we know xn plus 1 is n plus 1 into lambda d by d, minus it is n lambda d by d. Therefore, with the help of this, we are getting the expression as beta is equal to lambda d by d. By solving this equation, you are getting it as beta is equal to lambda d by d. And all the bright fringes which have the equal fringe width. So that is bright fringe in diagram, just you observe, that is B1, B2 we have taken, that is B1 means first bright fringe, second bright fringe. So whatever all bright fringes they have, that is equal fringe width of beta is equal to lambda d by d. So this is the case for the bright fringe. And next we are going to discuss what is for the dark fringe. For dark fringe or for minimum intensity at a point P, the path difference must be what? It is an odd multiple of lambda by 2, or we have discussed this in a previous lecture itself, that is an destructive interference, or generally we can call it as dark fringe, or for minimum intensity. It is an odd multiple of lambda by 2. Therefore, our equation becomes xd by d must be equal to the odd multiple of lambda by 2. Odd multiple means it is 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. Or from this, x is equal to, it is 2n plus 1 lambda capital D divided by 2d. Next, which is the position of the nth dark fringe from the central bright fringe. Next, we have to consider if n is equal to 0. If you substitute n is equal to 0, it is the position for the first dark fringe from the central maximum. Because our central at a point O, we have already get it as it is a bright fringe. Therefore, next is our 0 value. We have to substitute the 0 value. So that 0 value, whenever you are going to substitute n is equal to 0, you are getting it as a first dark fringe from the central bright. That is D1. In first diagram we have taken in Young's experiment, we have taken the D1. The D1 is nothing but it is the first dark fringe from the central maximum or the central bright fringe. Now, if n equal to 0, if you substituted, then our x is equal to 2n plus 1, that n is 0, however multiplied you are getting it as a 0 itself. So, lambda d divided by 2d we are getting. Similarly, if n is equal to 1, it is the position for the second dark fringe from the central bright. So, substitute now n is equal to 1. So, what you are getting answer? X is equal to, it is 3 lambda d divided by 2d, because n equal to 1. So, 2 into 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 lambda d divided by 2d. So, now it will be continued. Then if n is equal to n minus 1, it is the position for the nth dark fringe from the central bright. Therefore, what is that nth dark fringe? We just get it as it is xn is equal to, wherever n is there, just you substitute it as n minus 1. So, xn is equal to 2 of n is replaced by n minus 1 plus 1 as it is into lambda d divided by 2d. Therefore, our xn becomes, it is 2n minus 1 into lambda d divided by 2d. So, this is for the nth dark fringe. Similarly, we have to get it for n plus 1th dark fringe. For that, if n is equal to n, then it is the position for n plus 1th dark fringe from the central bright or the central maximum. And therefore, we have to get it as it is xn plus 1 is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda d by d. Then again, the distance between the centers of any two consecutive dark fringes, that is called as width of the dark fringe. However, we have explained the same thing for the bright fringes, the same thing for the dark fringes. It is the distance between the centers of any two consecutive dark fringes. It is called as the fringe width of all the dark fringes. Therefore, to get that fringe width, it will be given by xn, that beta is equal to xn plus 1 minus of xn, that must be equal to, it is 2n plus 1 lambda d divided by 2d minus 2n minus 1 lambda d divided by 2d. Therefore, with the help of this, just solve this. It is 2n into lambda d by 2d plus 1 into lambda d by 2d, you are getting it as lambda d by 2d itself, minus 2n lambda d by 2d plus it is lambda d by 2d you are getting. Therefore, it is 2n lambda d by 2d and 2n lambda d by 2d get cancels. So only we are getting lambda d by 2d plus lambda d by 2d. It is 2 lambda d by 2d. 2 get cancelled. Again we are getting beta is equal to lambda d by d. So all the dark fringes which have the equal fringe width of again this lambda d by 2d. Therefore, from equation 3 and 4, it is found that the fringe width for bright fringes as well as the dark fringes are equal. So, bright fringe also we got that is lambda d by d itself, and the dark fringe also it is lambda d by d. So, from this it is found that the fringe width for bright as well as the dark are the equal. So, from this equation we can found certain concepts, that is beta, that from equation beta is equal to lambda d by d. It is found that the first one we can say beta is directly proportional to lambda. From our equation beta is directly proportional to lambda. Lambda means it is the wavelength. So, for that larger the wavelength of the light we are getting, larger will be the fringe width. So, therefore, width will be greater for the red color than the violet color, because red is having the maximum wavelength and violet is having a very small wavelength. So, if the wavelength is more, according to that beta is directly proportional to lambda. If the wavelength is more, the fringe width also we are getting it as the larger. And the second one, beta is directly proportional to capital D. Capital D is nothing but it is the distance between the slit and the screen. So, if the distance is larger, that is the larger the distance of the screen from the slit, larger will be the fringe width, because it is directly proportional. If it is larger, beta is also larger. If it is smaller, beta is also smaller. And the third one is beta is inversely proportional to 1 over d. For that, the smaller, that small d is nothing but it is the distance between the two slits. The smaller the distance between the two coherent sources or the two slits, the larger will be the fringe width. So, these three aspects you have to remember with the help of this. And this is a very important derivation. Surely you are getting it as for 5 marks. Okay, just go through it. Thank you.